everyone, and welcome to my bedroom again. It's nighttime now, if you can't tell by the set. I brought every lamp that was in the living room here so that you could see my face. Was it worth it? You let me know in the comments. I already know this light is way too light. Get over it. It's the best we could do. I'm drinking drink of the day. One thing about Italy, a few things, but one thing about Italy is they don't have, can't think of the name, like bubbly water. Like not only just the brand bubbly, but any kind of canned, that's what it is. They don't have canned water. Guess what? The world lived with it for billions of centuries, but me, I need my canned water. Like I love my ahas. I love my bubbly. I loved my they have bubbly water, of course, but it's just like in gallons. So I bought one of those gallons, and I also, because I'm I can cheat the system, babe. Give me a system, I'll cheat it. I bought a gallon of Gasante sparkling water and apple, like pure apple juice. And so I do a little shot of apple and then the bubbly water, and I have my own bubbly. But someone get Michael Bublé here. He would be horrified. Oh, I have it here if you guys care to see. Obviously this isn't a gallon, 1.5 liters. Gasante. So that's what we're doing. I really miss my bubbly waters. I'll obviously live just like, the rest of the Romans did when in Rome. But I miss it. And what I've been doing instead, which is really bad, is drinking full fat. That was very British to me. I usually say full sugar Coca-Cola. Red can. But the minis that they have here are even smaller than Canada. They're so cute. But I'll come home. You just come home from a day out and you're so parched that you need the bubble to really like penetrate your thirst. So I'll drink a Coca-Cola instead of my bubbly water. So that's just a little bit about me that I've been doing. I have a list of things that I just want to rant about. This is going to be hopefully like a more chill episode. I feel like I've been super obnoxious recently. And I don't know if it's me, if it's what's in the air, if it's me, but it's annoying me. So I can't even imagine how you guys have been feeling. So I hope this is I'm obviously also going to be annoyed now, but I want to try to have some kind of structure. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm reading, listening to, and watching. And then that's the end of the structure. Then I'm just going to talk for an hour. Probably not an hour. I wish for an hour. Wouldn't that be great? Anyways, what I'm about to show you guys, no one can judge me. I've kept this secret for about a week now. Probably the max I can keep a secret for. I'm reading Iron Flame because I finished Fourth Wing. And okay, I have friends that loved Fourth Wing. It's a fantasy novel. I don't know if it's a fantasy novel. It's definitely giving young adult. I don't know if it technically is, but it's like romance, like dragons thing, like, you know what I mean? Magic, war, but then like people are in love, like that kind of vibe. And I've never read a fantasy book before ever in my life, but so many people were talking about this one. And there's a bookstore here. Oh, obviously there's literally 20, but there's a bookstore here. Teaching you guys so much about Italy. And it's actually a really cool concept. It's in a movie theater, and there's like on the ground floor is books, and upstairs are like seated, like old school movie theater seats that you can go and sit and read and study and work and like whatever, do whatever you want to do there. And then they play movies with subtitles. Like when I was there, they were playing Inside Out too with subtitles. So the sound isn't, in your ear. Anyways, and I saw Fourth Wing. I have the book. I actually don't know where it is right now. And I just picked it up. I'm like curious about it. I brought it to a seat, sat there. I couldn't stop reading it. It was so good. The action. The second I picked it up, I couldn't stop reading it. That book is about 500 pages, probably a little bit more than that. I read it in 5 or 6 days. Loved it. And I'm not afraid to say it. Obviously I am a little bit, but I don't care. I'm reading the Dragon book and I liked it so much so that even I had like 50 pages left of the book last night, and I went out did not want to leave my house at all. But I went out and bought the sequel, which is Iron Flame. And this one is 800 pages, almost like 780. And I better get through this before my flight home because I'm not bringing this on the plane. First of all, you can't read it in public. Just kidding. I'm not going to be ashamed of reading fantasy, you guys. It's really good. Well, is it really good? It's just interesting. I was talking to my friend Ariel. Shout out Ariel. I don't know if you watch these videos. And she had a good point. She's like, a lot of the books that I read are very heavy and intense. And then sometimes when you like read a fun little fantasy novel, it's like, oh wait, reading is actually easy and fun. And it doesn't have to be so heavy all the time. I have been reading, or I've been trying to read this book, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. Don't like it, you guys. I'm halfway through. Am I? Yeah, I'm halfway through. It took me, I don't know, a month to get into like 100 pages of this. And I just feel like nothing's happening. And so in contrast, when I picked up Fourth Ring and started reading it, and within the second chapter, like everyone is dying and like dragons are invading, I'm like, oh, I'm in for this. Also, how cute is this bookmark that my friend Jamie got me? Can you see it? It has little bows on it. You can't see it. It's really cute. The aesthetic doesn't really go with Iron Flame though, so it's going to stay in this book. Anyway, so that's what I've been reading. I've been like, babe, I'm tapped in. I Googled my Google search was not even on incognito. I'm not, this isn't my IP address. My Airbnb host can live with this. I Googled Fourth Wing characters AI because I needed to see what they looked like. I just needed to see. And I saw, and it was actually pretty close to what I imagined. So am I psychic? I don't know, but I'm liking it, guys. I'm not going to recommend it. Maybe, I don't know. Read it if you want. It's a very light, fun. It's not like it's romance, but like the first kiss happened on like the 300th page. So don't get too excited. It's definitely there, but it's not like, you know. So that's what I've been reading, and it feels so good to be into a book. Oh my God, I miss that feeling. The last book I read before this one, A Little Life. Have we talked about it? Did not like it at all. But I finished it, and it took me, not kidding, 4 years. Maybe 3, maybe 2. A few years to finish it. And I think that book is like 500 pages as well, in contrast of me reading this one in 5. So like sometimes you can just read a fun little book. That's what I'm going to say. So that's what I'm reading. And even now when I'm filming this and I am, I'm going to have soup for dinner. You can't read a book and eat soup. That's crazy. I can't wait for everything to be done to come back into bed and read this book. So that's a little update for me. Okay, I watched a movie called Ghostlight recently. A few weeks ago now. Recently still. When I tell you, I will be its single person marketing team, everyone needs to watch this movie. Posted about it on my Instagram stories. That's like a billboard for me. It's so good. And you can watch the trailer, sure. You can read what it's about, sure. It's so much more than anything you could ever imagine. Not to be dramatic, but like when after I watch movies, I feel like I do one of two things. One, I go back and watch the trailer again to like kind of relive it and be like, oh, that was so good when we watched that. Do you remember that? Like saying this to myself. And then the other thing I do if it's a scary movie is I'll watch the behind the scenes of making the movie, because then it's not scary. This is just like actress doing lines, you know? So when I went back after watching Ghostlight and watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is there. Oh, I get why they cut it like that, but it's just like it doesn't even scratch the surface of this movie. And I realized this a long time ago, but a lot of my favorite movies are ones that you kind of have to put the pieces together yourself, which is this movie. Definitely like comes to a conclusion and it doesn't like end and you're like, wait, what? I don't like those kind of movies, but I love the movie The Florida Project, and I know people watched it and were like, nothing happens. I'm like, so much happened. You just need to like watch how that person looks at this person, and then like how they're like, you just need to watch. And Ghostlight is a lot. It was just so, sorry, did I say this? Bawled my eyes out. Like like what, like wept, like the Who's in Whoville when the Grinch Stole Christmas. I literally sounded like them. So worth it though. Recommend watching it alone. I think watching sad movies alone is better because then you're not, or for me at least, I feel like I'm like, I can't cry because this person is sitting beside me and they can see. So just let go, let God, let loose, watch Ghostlight. Unbelievable movie. Every actress and actor in it. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about it. I also recently watched The Notebook. I feel like I watch The Notebook every few years. I've said this in a video, and I don't know if I'm posting that video, so let me just re-say it. But I feel like I watch The Notebook every few years. It's so good, you guys. Again, bawled my eyes out. I also watched Before Sunrise for the first time. Unbelievable movie. I feel like everyone's seen it because it came out in literally 1990. But so good. So good, so good, so good. Okay, what I'm listening to right now, I've been really into rom-com playlists on Spotify, which is like Kiss Me. Kiss me. It just is fun music to walk to. Like I'll put my headphones on. I brought like big headphones here and I'll play and it's just cinematic. Like listening to old school, not even old school, but like early 2000s, early 2010 love songs. Or like Thinking of You by Katy Perry. Comparisons. I feel like I'll just find a song and then go on Spotify, play radio, and then just listen to that radio. So that's what I've been listening to. Oh, I've also been really into Doechii. She's so cool, you guys. She's so cool. Okay, also, and thank you for bringing that up. I think that's what I want to call this like podcast, and thank you for bringing that up. And thank you so much for bringing that up. Listen, I love Mac Miller, okay? He is one of the only, if only, celebrity deaths that actually made me so sad, and like still to this day when I'll listen to music it like hurts me. I just feel like I love him as a person so much, and I love him so much, and I really like his music. And it was also just like the music I listened to as a child. By child I mean like 17. Anyways, why did he just release an album? Why did his, what do you call it, like his camp, like his crew, just, I'm going to say this wrong, posthumous? Don't make me Google how to. Posthumous. Oh, okay. Posthumous. It just like feels a little bit weird. There's maybe 1% that I'm like, oh, we can still get music from him, but there's another part of I'm like, this isn't him though. I just feel like they were trying to make money. Feels weird. Anyways, so that's what I've been listening to. Okay, other updates in my life. I've been obsessed with side quests, you guys. Like, sometimes I'll feel like I should be doing more on my trip. Like I read my book all day one day and I'm like, you should go outside. And so what I do to combat those feelings is go on Airbnb experiences and book random stuff. I'm going truffle hunting in 2 days, where I'm literally like meeting a guy in a parking lot and he's taking me to the woods. And actually saying that back, no, I'm kidding. It's like a tour thing, but just random things that I wouldn't have been able to do normally in Vancouver. And the other thing that I did is I went to the opera a few days ago. I saw it on Airbnb experiences and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the opera tonight. It was like $30. It wasn't like, it was in a tiny little church. It was random, obviously, because everything I do is random, but it's not like a huge, whoa, my ring. It's not like a huge venue with like multiple people. No, it was a tiny room, like 8 rows of seats. I was in a room with probably 16 other people and 1 opera singer and 1 pianist. And it was so funny. Let me tell you the whole story of the night. So it was pouring rain that day and I'm like, I'm going to go out and listen to the freaking opera, dude. I also was like, I haven't gone out for dinner by myself yet. And I really was excited to do that before this trip. I was like so excited to just go for dinner by myself and just like be in my own company and not have to like have a conversation with anyone. Like it just really sounds like a dream. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out for dinner and then go to the opera place because there was a restaurant I really wanted to go to right beside the opera place. So the opera place, literally just a church. So I make reservations for 1 and get ready, like have such a nice day getting ready, whatever. Go to the restaurant, bring my freaking dragon book. I brought Fourth Wing, which bringing that out of the house is brave. Like, I don't know. It just is like, don't look at what I'm reading. I walked into the restaurant and I immediately forgot that as a woman, you'll never be left alone. You will just always be bothered. Unfortunately. Absolutely just bothered. I walked into the restaurant and I made reservations at 7:30. So that is quite early for Italian standards, but the opera was at 9. So I had a timeline to be on. And so the restaurant was quite empty and the only other people in there were English speaking, like tourists like me. And anyway, so the server, super nice guy, sits me down and whatever. Oh, actually, sorry. Let me not say whatever. Going in, I'm like, I want these people to think I'm a local. So let me just head down, talk Italian quietly so they don't clock you, and just get to the table and then read your book and don't talk to anyone and just enjoy your night. Like, be cool. So I walk in, buonasera, like everything quiet. They're talking back to me in Italian. They're buying it. I'm like, thank God. Because I learned on the way how to say reservation for one. I sit down, this host sits me down, and then my server comes and he goes, naturale or gazzante, like whatever, still or sparkling water. And I go, naturale. He looks at me and goes, are you trying to speak Italian? No. I was so cocky too. I'm like, these people, they really think I'm from here. No. He looked at me like, are you trying to speak Italian? He didn't mean for it to sound that rude, I'm sure, because he also is English in his second language, but the way he said it, I'm like, yeah, see, you caught me. And then I will preface that, like, nice guy. The rest of the night continued to just bother me the entire time. Continued to bother me the entire time. Like, oh my God. Everything so what kind of music do you listen to? What do you do for fun? Where are you from? Where do you live in the city? What? And this wasn't, he would like just come to my table and talk to me and then leave and come back and be like, so what kind of music do you listen to? He also so loud. Everyone else that I know was around me that spoke English was just like listening to me, and I'm just looking at him like, anything? And it got to the point when I was like, please leave me alone. Like, I would literally be like this reading, facing away from him, and he would come up and I would just go like, he came up one time. He's like, so how old are you? Because he was literally like 18 or 19. He goes, how old are you? And I'm like 35, because I thought that would like freak him out and just like leave me alone. And when I said 35, everyone's head turned to me, everyone in the restaurant, because everyone's already listening to me, because they're probably like making eye contact with people that they're with, being like, this poor girl can't escape her server because he's literally the one serving the steak right now, but he's also the one annoying the shit out of her. Let's listen. So I'm like 35, and he goes, everyone's looking at me. He goes, whoa, you don't look that old. Dude, what do you want from me? And it pissed me off. I'm not going to lie to you. Not like that much, but I was definitely like, can I just not sit here and eat by myself without knowing that like you're staring at me from the host stand? It was annoying. Anyways, it was fine. And then I went to the opera, and I was like voice noting my friends about what had happened, and just like, talking about the dinner with me and my server. Apparently he pretty much pulled up a seat and sat beside me and bothered me the whole time. And so I was just in a really giggly mood, when you're in school and you can't stop laughing at something, like, because then I'm like giggling to my friends, and then I walk into this tiny little church for the opera, and I knew it was small from photos, but like, babe, it's like the size of this bedroom, not kidding. 8 rows, like me to the singer was probably 7 feet. And then, so I sat like far in the back as I could, and the woman was amazing. Piano player was great. But every time she would sing, she would make crazy eye contact with the front row. Like, she would like hold eye contact with someone and be like, oh! And I was just behind, like, I couldn't stop I didn't giggle because that's obviously so rude, but I wanted to so bad. I would have to like muffle and just like, oh, I avoided her eye contact like the plague. She was not catching my eye, not at all. And there was also a family in the front of like a mom, a dad, and a son who maybe looked like 18, 19, 20. I have no idea. My eyes can't like register men that age, thank God. And they kept clapping at the wrong time. Like she would take pauses to, you know, take a big breath to do the next note, and they would think it was done and they would clap. And then, and kind of like sit up in their seat, like almost a standing ovation. And she would continue to sing and they'd be like, oh, oh. And it happened like 3 times. And I couldn't stop laughing. Again, I wasn't actually like laughing, but I was definitely like sitting like this, smiling. It was funny. And then that night, I was just like, it was just funny. Like the opera, I think, was an hour, and I was in a funny, silly mood. And I'm like, I'm going to go out. Like I'm alone, but I'm just going to go to a bar. I'm going to go to a bar, and like, not like a club bar, but like a restaurant that has a bar that you can sit at. And I have my book, you know, I can like maybe whatever. I'm just going to go out. I go out. Well, I, you know, leave the church and walk to a little restaurant. It was in a busy area where like a lot of people were. So I walked to a little restaurant, and there's, you know, some tables finishing up, some like people, all, whatever. No one's sitting at the bar though. So I go sit at the bar. Can I say bar one more time? And the server, or like the bartender, took quite a while to get to me, because while I was waiting, I felt someone walk into the restaurant. You know, when someone's aura and their energy is just like so strong. I was not looking. I didn't even see peripherals. I just felt it. And this entity sits directly beside me at the bar. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Let me look and see what we got. I turn and see a 45-year-old man in a top hat. In a full-on top hat, like 9 inches tall, maybe taller. Like the air was taken out of my lungs. I've never seen that before in my life. He was just by himself in a normal, everything else was normal. I literally looked out the window because I thought I would see a bunch of friends laughing, and like it was a dare that he had to come in a top hat. It was, I left right away. It was so sinister. I thought it was the Babadook. And then I humbly walked home. I was like, I'm not, this is, I think, enough of the night. My date with my server, the opera, and then drinks with the Babadook. Okay, sorry, I had to go stir my soup. Another update, you guys, I passed my wine exam. I passed with distinction, I'm sure I mentioned it. That was my goal. I wanted to get 90% or higher, because that's when you got the distinction. So I'm super excited about that. I got my results a few weeks ago. No, actually like a month ago. I guess that's a few weeks. And they're sending me and everyone else like an actual certificate. Like, am I supposed to frame that? But very relieved. I can't believe it. I have also forgot everything I've learned. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do the other ones, but it was so fun. I really had a good time doing it. Also, New Year's resolution, not really, but something I did. I'll stop playing with it. Something I did recently was I got a membership to Masterclass, because I saw Mindy Kaling, who I love. Kaling. You know the one. Let me learn how to say it. Mindy Kaling. Pretty sure I said that. Anyways. I saw that she had a course on how to script a TV show, and I got it. Loved it. I felt so inspired. I literally went that whole night and wrote something. I really want to complete a full script this year. That's my new goal. Okay. And if we're talking about New Year's resolutions, let's talk about it. I have a few. They're not like real, but I love a fresh start. I love a Monday. I love January. I love beginnings. They're always fun for me. So I do like the idea of a New Year's resolution, but it's not like, I'm not like, you know, tracking it. It's just a little something to talk about. So I really want to have a complete script of something, even if it just goes nowhere, just getting back in the practice of writing. I used to write all the time for TV, for myself. Like, I used to write spec scripts all the time and I just stopped. So I kind of forgot how to do it now, and I just want to like get back into it. My other New Year's resolution is one I had last year that I didn't do. I did a little bit, but I didn't do it enough. And it's called the 8-minute phone call. I think it was like a New York Times article or something talking about how a phone call should be 8 minutes. Like, call your loved ones once a week, an 8-minute phone call, and that's all it has to be. Because I think a lot of the time when I call family, I'm like, this is going to be 3 hours. Like, it just feels overwhelming, and so I never do it because I'm never in the right time to like sit on the phone for an hour and a half. And so I want to implement, I just want to call my like family members that don't live in the same city as me more, or the same province, or the same side of the world. So I want to implement the 8-minute phone call again, and just call people and literally just talk to them for 5-8 minutes and then hang up. You know? What, that's 8 minutes out of a week. If I do once a month, I call 12 people a year that I normally don't. Like, that's an accomplishment. Okay, the other one is like actually slowly killing me, but I just feel like I have to do it. It's post on Instagram Reels. Oof, that's worse than the dragon book. Honestly, it's really brutal for me, but I know I have to do it because that's how you grow an audience, babe. But it's really hard. I hate it, but I'm doing it. So be proud of me. I already posted 2. Okay, the last one is something that I'm actively going to try to do because I notice it so much with other people and it drives me insane. So let's all do it together, actually, and let's make us better listeners and a better society. And what it is stop centering yourself. I'm sure everyone does it, but for instance, if someone was like, I want to go skydiving, and your first reaction was, oh my God, I would never do that. Okay, they didn't ask. They literally did not ask about anything that you wanted to do. They were just telling you what they want to do, that they want to go skydiving. You could say, I don't know. I just feel like this happens in conversations so much where someone mentions something and someone's like, well, it's like, okay, but no. Sorry. It's not about you. It's about the story that I'm telling. Or it's not like, I don't actually need your opinion. It's not about you. Anyways, I'm sure I do it all the time too, because I think we intrinsically, is that a word? That would be great if it was. When we have conversations with people, subconsciously we're thinking about ourselves and how we would react and how we would do things. But I think it's a really great exercise to take ourselves out of it. Those are my New Year's resolutions. Pretty light and easy. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys and have my soup and watch some TV and then come back and read Iron Flame. Let me know if you guys have any fantasy recommendations, because apparently I am into the storytelling and the excitement and the swords and magic of it all. Kind of took me by surprise. But anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching and hope you're having a great day.